Jumanji? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence on Earth. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan, unless I've been replaced.
Anything could be real now. Skrull? Alien morning show?
What? Is it a coincidence that aliens were confirmed the same time a secret invasion happens?
What are they trying to keep us from knowing? Probably that we're bombing some country. that we
Yeah,
don't know
most
about yet.
likely an invasion of some kind of poorer country.
Yeah, or an economic downturn.
Yeah,
I don't
or,
know.
some other kind
Or-
of atrocity roll back on our rights.
Aliens are real.
Or aliens are real.
We'll talk more about that later on the show. BBs, Saige,
Yes, Anthony?
sleep. What is it?
Don't ask me.
How does anybody get sleep?
I don't.
I don't know. It's almost impossible. But that's why the Pokemon Company is here, Saige. The Pokemon Company is here.
To help you sleep?
Yeah, I've been using the Pokemon Sleep.
We told you about Pokemon Sleep a couple weeks ago.
It came out earlier this week. I've only been using it for 2 days, but I gotta tell you, Saige. I gotta tell you.
Tell me. You have to.
I love the Pokemon Sleep.
You have to tell me.
It's very adorable, and I'd like to show you some of the Pokemon Sleep.
I would
if
love
I
to
may.
see it. I have not done it because I am not emotionally prepared to be shamed by Pokemon.
Well, there is that, sure. Sure, there is that.
I know how bad my sleep is. I know how bad my schedule is. I know that I sleep poorly when I do sleep, and I am simply not ready for the Pokemon Company to have an opinion on that.
Yeah. So this is a sleep tracker that they released that is also a game. They did it. It's Nintendo, one of Nintendo's mobile things. You know how Nintendo is, for the most part. They're like, we want kids to also go outside.
Yeah, Pokemon Go, of course.
Yeah. Pikmin Go, all this stuff. But this one is about getting healthy sleep. And it's, Ah! What happened?
I don't know, Anthony. What did you do?
What did I do?
What did you do?
I don't know. I'm looking at my, what is going on here?
What did you do?
I
What?
see it. I saw it.
What do you see?
I saw it.
What did you see?
I saw what you need to change.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Nope, down one. Oh no, is that not it?
That is not it. That's
That's
correct.
not it?
I was right.
Okay. So what's going on?
You're what's going on.
There he is.
I didn't change anything.
Professor Neroli, who wears a little Snorlax sleep mask
Uh-huh.
and is kind of a soft boy,
Okay.
unlike the other professors that we've seen. He's a little soft boy, and he says like, hey, Snorlax's drowsy power has drawn a small crowd here to sleep.
Oh.
So the deal is, you have this Snorlax. When you go to sleep, the Snorlax levels up and gets drowsy power.
Drowsy power.
The drowsy power attracts new Pokemon to sleep and snuggle with the Snorlax. And then, as you find them, you add them to your sleep decks, and you can feed them little biscuits. And when you feed them little biscuits, they stick around and they help you research sleep and level up the Snorlax during the day. So this is you can find Squirtles that have different sleeping styles. So it's not just about finding the Pokemon and adding them to the decks. You also have to add the best kind of sleepy types to the decks.
Oh.
So you can see that they all have different little sleep types. That Doduo is lazy lookout sleep, so only one of the heads is sleeping while the other one's like chilling. It's very, very cute.
Grumpy Steen, much like Grumpy Steen, I also would just like to curl up in the belly of a Snorlax. Just upon the belly of a Snorlax.
We all would, and this game knows that, and that's what it's all about.
Britt JK in the live studio audience has been playing as well.
So you find all these different pokes. There's a little Togepi with Rock and Sleep. But then you get to hand. There's my chonky boy, my Spheal.
Oh.
And he's got
What kind of
flop sleep.
Flopped sleep.
Yeah, he's just a little floppy boy.
Oh.
He's just flopping. So you find them all.
Oh, that looks like bad sleep.
Yeah, that's biting sleep.
Oh.
My why not is doing biting sleep.
It's important to note that it's biting with a D and not a T.
So once you do this, you get snack time, and any Pokemon that have stuck around after the night, you can like go around and give them little bonus biscuits. And if you fill up their friendship level, they stick around as part of your team. So here you can see they gave me a bonus biscuit to give to this Squirtle. And the bonus biscuit fills him up. And he goes, I love this. I'm part of your team now. Yeah, it's really good.
I want to acknowledge, because we've got some BBs in here. Ms. Reaper said I downloaded it, got my usual terrible sleep, got shamed, had a bad time being shamed, and deleted the app. Not a bad app, just bad sleep.
That's fair.
Chafrika said I got the full upright manky sleep a night that my cat slapped me awake all night.
Yeah, so it even will reward you in ways for bad sleep, right? So the last couple nights I've gotten pretty good sleep. And so I've gotten slumber sleep. Slumber sleep will give you different sleep types of Pokemon than drowsy sleep or dozing sleep.
Yeah.
So if you get light sleep, you'll get completely different stuff. But then all throughout the day, Saige, you tap the Pokemon and they find little things that you can give to the Snorlax, like berries and stuff, so you can power up the Snorlax during the day. So even if you don't sleep particularly well or you have an off night, you can still level up your Snorlax during the day. And you can cook for him.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. Let's make the Snorlax.
DeBearju, you let us know that you can get shinies in this game.
Oh, yeah, you can.
So I've been playing and have some friends that have even gotten shinies.
You can cook the Snorlax breakfast. You can cook the Snorlax 3 meals a day. And they give the Snorlax extra bonus strength.
I can't even feed myself 3 times a day.
And I love it. I love it.
Stefan said, I've caught so many already. I like that this isn't really a game or anything, just something fun to sprinkle into your day.
Yeah. So you can auto cook and then it'll give you new recipes. So this particular Snorlax on this island, because there are different islands with different Snorlaxes, wants curries and stews.
Okay.
And so during the day, I make him a nice spicy apple curry. And he
Which is what
loves
you wake
that.
up with your mouth smelling like.
Because of my nasal spray. Listen, if you think this Pokemon sleep app is the first thing that I've done in my insane quest for sleep, you're wrong. You're wrong. The amount of insane things I've done to simply try and get my sleep to be a little bit better, I tape my mouth shut at night.
Yeah, he does.
I shoot curry up my nose.
Yeah, he does.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid what I do. But this is probably going to work. Anyway, I love the Pokemon sleep.
I love that for you.
It's good.
I'm going to download it. I'll try it tonight, but I can't wait to show you how mean it is to me.
You know,
I anticipate it being like the feeling when you turned off your GameCube without saving Animal Crossing.
oh, you think Resetti's just going to pop up? Like
Yeah,
a
I
little
think Resetti's going to pop up.
like
and
a
ask
Pokemon's
me-
going to come and be like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. I think I'm going to get absolutely slapped up by a Machoke.
It's right there in the name.
Uh-huh.
It's possible.
It is.
Do you think I'm not going to tell you it's not possible?
I think one of them is going to roll up. I think the Snorlax himself is just going to be sad. I think the Snorlax is just going to be like, why?
Why would you do this?
Why?
We both just want to sleep.
We do. I promise we do both want to sleep. I really do want it.
You should download it, give it a shot. It's fun. I'm also doing, I did the little 2-week trial for the premium pass to see what the difference is.
Do you know what the difference is, Dan?
Yeah, they give you like they give you some bonus stuff, and then there's a premium pass store where everything costs like fewer little sleep bits. You get little sleep bits to spend at the store.
I'm never going to have any. I'm not going to sleep good, and it's going to make me Pokemon poor.
It's a motivator, just like Pikmin Go or Pokemon Go. It's like, oh, I'm not getting outside enough.
Yeah, but I can force myself to go for a walk.
You could force yourself to lay down in bed earlier.
I cannot force myself to go to sleep.
No, but by laying down in bed earlier, you might fall asleep earlier. No? Simply not?
No. It's bad up there.
I had to train myself to sleep without media
Yeah.
in order to sleep better, and it was tough.
I also know that I talk in my sleep, and I'm really not looking forward to it to it recording it and telling me about it.
So I do have some of that recorded. My NDI has like really bad, but
Could have set it up.
Pokemon Sleep has a thing where it will record. There are two things that I don't like about Pokemon Sleep. If I'm going to be honest. Number one is the fact that it doesn't work with any other sleep tracking devices. So if I sleep with my watch on, it doesn't use that information.
Oh, that's surprising.
It's like old school iOS sleep trackers where you like put the phone on the bed with you and keep the phone plugged in. And it like just runs all night.
How can it tell when you're sleeping?
It tells by motion and vibration and sound. So it's not the best, right?
Right, not the most accurate.
Not the most accurate, but it's pretty good. But it doesn't work with any of that hardware. It will work with the Pokemon Go Plus. So if you have that, it works even better.
Okay.
But it doesn't work with any Apple stuff or any Android stuff, any smartwatches. And then what was the other thing I don't like? There's another thing I don't like. But the most important thing is that it records. Well, this is what I don't like. It does record your sounds at night. You could tell it not to if you want.
I would. I'd record it one time and I would regret it deeply.
If you have premium, it will save your sounds as much as you want. If you don't have premium, it only lets you listen to your sounds the next day and then it gets rid of them.
Please get rid of them. Please get rid of them.
I apparently, in the middle of the night, and like you've told me before when we've gone on trips, that I snore. Like,
I don't think that it's terrible. You're more worried about how much you snore than you actually snore.
Well, it's because my mother snores really badly and is in denial about it. And whenever we like go on trips and we have to share accommodations, like me and my sister and my mother's like, no, I don't snore. And I've like, when we go on trips, I get her like her own room.
Yeah.
Or like if we get an Airbnb, I make sure that she has like her own separate room that's like far away from us. Cause she's like she's like
that felt like it hurt to do. Did it hurt to do?
It did a little bit. She's like a snarling dog at a gate. She's, it's a lot, but she'll tell you that she doesn't snore. So I'm a little self-conscious about snoring. Something you did not tell me, and maybe you just have not heard this during in the times that we've cohabitated. In the middle of the night, I go, ah!
Yeah.
I just go, ah!
Yeah, I know.
Like apparently 3 times a night.
Yeah, that sounds right.
3 times a night.
No, I knew that. You don't have to tell someone every weird thing they do in their sleep.
Just 3 times a night, I just go, ah!
I don't like sharing rooms with people anymore because I talk in my sleep. And everybody feels the need as soon as I wake up to be like, let me tell you this crazy fucking shit you did last night. And I'm like, yeah, I was having a nightmare.
You in the times that I have heard you sound like one of those pull string dolls where the mechanism inside is broken.
Yeah.
Where like it doesn't make any sense.
If I'm really stressed, I host in my sleep. Like so do you.
Yeah, like it's fully emotional. Like I can hear the emotional beats of things. Like you'll be like, like it's like Simlish. You basically speak Simlish.
Yeah. I don't think I do it anymore, the sleep hosting, because I would usually wake myself up doing it. But when I was working for the letter number company and I was really fucking stressed and overworked and I was hosting 1 million shows a week, I would wake myself up doing like intros to shows. Because I was having a nightmare that I'd overslept and I had like rushed to the desk and gone live.
I would not think that I do that, but you just said that I do.
You have, yeah.
Which is wild to me.
Yeah.
Although I did have somebody once tell me, and this is before I started doing like all my sleep study stuff and everything. I have dreams sometimes still when I'm stressed that I am working as a barista or a server.
Waiting tables, yep.
Yeah, the stressful jobs come back.
Same.
But I did have somebody once tell me before I started doing everything. It's been a multi-year journey to try to get better sleep.
Yeah.
But years ago, I had somebody tell me, you punch in your sleep. You punch me. And I was like, whoa, what do you mean? And she's like, no, don't worry. It's it's adorable. It's like a baby or a toddler where it's like, because I'm sleeping, for the dream to pierce the veil into reality, like by the time it gets to a real motion, it's like this. But apparently I would do that. I'd be like, and she'd like wake up and be like, hey, easy.
Yeah. That's very funny. I dated somebody who would hit in their sleep. They would just like.
Now that's a real one.
Yeah,
I mean, it
sucked.
It doesn't hurt, but it's a real enough one to be like, hey, fucking what?
Yeah, 100%. I remember one time the hand just coming over and doing like hitting you right in the place of the stomach where you're like, hey buddy, get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Chafrikas in live studio audience a moment ago said Saige speaks Furbish in her sleep.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
But sometimes I know I do speak in full and complete English.
That's
and,
hilarious.
Like full and complete English sentences, which is not great. And sometimes I will wake myself up doing it, and then I feel the need to try and make sense of what I was doing. Mm-hmm. So I have to try and finish the sentence and guess where it started.
Now, but you are not interested in having your sounds recorded at night. I would love to. See, like I'm a little mortified, but I also find it fascinating.
I am so embarrassed by my own existence.
Sure.
All the time.
No, I'm aware.
I don't need any more embarrassment, actually. I'm absolutely stuffed. I'm completely full, please.
See?
I couldn't.
And I have the mediocre white man thing of what if I say something brilliant or funny or interesting in my sleep?
God,
it's
I
good
hate
that
you.
somebody's recording it. That's gold. That's gold.
I quit.
Anyway, if you have not yet tried Pokemon Sleep, give it a shot. Tell us how it works for you in the Discord.
Speaking of things, if you haven't tried them yet, you should. This episode has continued to be sponsored by HelloFresh. We talked about it on Wednesday. We have a special code right now that you can use. I'm going to pop it up in the chat to get 50% off your order. There we go. Thank you, Jelly. Beat me to it. Very, very appreciated. Check it out. Use our code because you get money off. And it also helps to support the channel and tell people that, yeah, they could maybe keep sponsoring us. That's pretty rad.
That's pretty rad.
You get fresh meals delivered to your door that you get to cook. It is so satisfying to make a real meal for myself. And it was actually my homework from my therapist this week.
That's good.
I had therapy on Wednesday after the show, and she was like, tell me simply one thing that you could do to be nice to yourself. And I was like, I couldn't. And she was like, no. Tell me just one thing. She really has that. Saige, I am not asking you for a lot. And I was like, I guess I could feed myself. She's like, can you cook for yourself? And I was like, no. And she was like, can you cook for yourself? And I was like, okay. So we're getting our HelloFresh box
I like
in.
your therapist a lot.
Yeah, I do too. She's great.
I like your therapist a lot because if a friend says something like that to you, Saige goes into full-on fuck you mode.
Yeah.
But I love that a therapist from a position of authority that you respect can say something like that, and you'll be like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. I'll say no first.
Yeah, sure.
But I do have to listen because I am paying her to do this. But anyways, she said that it's very good for me to cook for myself as it is an act of self-care. So HelloFresh is going to be great for that this week. You get healthy and fresh meals delivered to your door. You get less portion waste because you have the actually portioned out correct amount of the ingredients that you need. And as someone who lives alone, I never, ever have that.
That's the thing. It's 110 degrees out here in LA every day right now. If you are living in a place, for whatever reason, whether it's weather, whether it's a tough week, no matter what it is, give this a shot.
Yeah.
See what it's like to just have the box show up, have everything be taken care of for you, except the actual cooking, which is kind of a pleasant experience.
It is. And they're pretty quick, too. They tell you when you're ordering how long each meal takes. You get to customize your box. It was one of the things that I was worried about with meal services that I didn't understand, is I was like, well, I'm such a picky eater.
Yeah.
What if it's all things I won't eat?
Oh.
But you get to completely customize your box.
There are so many more choices now than there were. Even if you did this a few years ago, there are so many more choices available to you every week than there were a few years ago. Because I think I told you I did it many, many years ago when they first started, and it was pretty good. It was good. It was good for the time, especially where it's like, here are 3 things, sub some other things out.
Yeah,
this is like,
it's a full menu. It's great.
It's like an LA diner menu of things to choose.
It is. It's got substitution options. It's got seasonal recipes. So I was able to go through and find consistently meals that I would eat, which is saying a lot as somebody who has a lot of food specifications. Spood specifications.
I got Spood Fest.
Speaking of fast, catch the failsafe finale tonight, baby.
So yeah, give it a shot. Try the code. Share experiences. Compare and contrast your Pokemon Sleep and HelloFresh experiences.
Blade of Creation said I was doing it like 5 years ago, and there was like half a dozen choices a week. No, there's like 40 choices.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a ton of options, and they're all sorted by different things, by like vegan friendly, family friendly.
Are you telling me a Spood festicated this meal?
Horrible. I love it.
Give it a shot, and thanks to HelloFresh for continuing to sponsor the show.
Let's talk about some games,
Let's
shall
talk
we?
about games. Look, there was... We thought last year that we were about to live in the Smash renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
We thought that the platform fighter, whatever it's going to be, was going to be the big deal. We had Multiversus. We had All-Star Brawl. We thought that all of this stuff was coming out, and like, don't worry about the fact that Sakurai is leaving Nintendo. He's thinking about retiring. No, something will pick up the slack. And then Multiversus kind of sputtered out, but it was doing well in the beginning. And All-Star Brawl was a non-starter.
Yeah.
It was a All-Star Brawl, more like no start brawl.
Nice. Buddy. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was good. No, that was good.
Know. And
no,
I even got good sleep last night. Snorlax told me. It did not work. And it did not work for a few reasons. The gameplay was just not there. The presentation was certainly not there, between looking like kind of like a budget mobile title. And also no voice acting from any characters. Classic Nickelodeon characters.
Which was really hard to go up with against Multiverses with.
Yeah.
That was attaching voices to their characters.
And not just that, Multiversus, I think the reason why Multiversus took off so quickly in the beginning was Multiversus understood the characters and what the kind of like the memes were about the characters, right?
Yeah.
Like you got Ultra Instinct Shaggy right
that
off
was
the bat.
Huge.
You know? Everything was like very, we know what you think of this character.
Yeah.
Whereas All-Star Brawl felt very like, we don't know anything about these characters.
Right.
Who knows anything about these characters?
Well, instead of fixing that game, they figured, let's start over. Give us another chance. We promise we'll never hurt you again. I love you. Take me back, and this time it'll be different. And they said, in short, bigger, better, and more. More characters, more stages, and more modes, plus a new campaign, full crossplay for all platforms, voice acting for every playable character, new minigames, improved graphics, and more, which is all of the things that we did want. And that is for All-Star Brawl 2.
Now, you can't hear it because our audio is all busted. We're going to fix game audio, but all the characters are speaking, and then you get Squidward. Watch, I mean, there's the meme right there.
Yeah. Join us. You're memeing with us. Thank you, Nickelodeon.
This is the big thing that pops up. Is
handsome Squidward.
You don't just get Squidward, you can do handsome Squidward as well.
Again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for memeing with us, Nickelodeon. Hey, I'm just glad you were listening.
Look at that. Look at that. It's amazing. And then they show off the character redesigns.
Yeah, April O'Neil.
Which is great. Garf was there, but he didn't talk, and that's such a problem.
Yeah.
It was such a problem for me.
Rocco.
I mean, all of the levels look much better. They're going to show a comparison here in a second, but it is wild to me how much better the character art looks.
There was not only handsome Squidward, but they also had him when
Look
he
at
was
that
in
new
the League
April.
of Villains.
Look at that new,
She
look at
looks
that
great.
new Foot Clan. The Avatar, the Wind Temple stage looks so much better.
Yeah, it does.
This is great.
Can anyone remind me what Squidward was called when they were in Evil, the Villains League? Was that the one? He goes, yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways, okay.
There's also a campaign mode.
He had his little volcano head.
There's a campaign mode now. We don't know what that's going to be about, but that seems great, like a story mode.
Actually, we do know a little bit.
Do we?
We do. So the single-player campaign, you will be aiming to stop a villain from what, Anthony?
Here he comes. Here he comes.
Who could it ever be?
Here comes the boy.
The boy genius, Jimmy Neutron.
The boy is in it.
As I was saying, you'll be aiming to stop Danny Phantom bad guy Vlad Plasmius. Classic Danny Phantom villain.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm so into that. Is Danny Phantom in the game?
Yes. Yeah, they showed him in the beginning, yeah.
Show me Danny Phantom.
You want to see Danny Phantom? They show him a little bit in the beginning.
I love Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom
Can we
is
just
cool.
end the show and go watch Danny Phantom?
Yeah.
Danny Phantom.
Danny Phantom was kind of like, there he is.
I missed it on the
real
NDI,
quick.
but I saw him. It's
Yeah.
okay. I'll have to go back again. I love that show. I love Danny Phantom. It is a goth rite of passage for people of my age group who have
I was going to say,
up
like
Danny
Ben 10
Phantom.
for goths.
Yeah.
You know?
I was not a Ben 10 kid.
Nah.
I didn't give a shit about Ben 10.
Nah. Ben 10 was fine.
It's fine.
You know what's great?
What?
Daniel Phantom.
Very true.
Krakatoa is what he says. And
Yeah, that's what he says.
Captain Magma
Krakatoa.
is his villain name.
Captain Magma. Thank you very much.
Ben 11 was so much better. That's right. They need, I'm waiting for Ben 12.
Yeah.
That's going to be the one where they really nail it.
That's going to be it.
So All-Star Brawl 2 looks really, really good. And, we kind of need it because Multiversus is dead as a doornail.
Yeah, it is.
Multiversus.
Again, we really thought we were about to have like that Smash Bros. Renaissance.
It's,
Well, there was actually one other piece of relevant news to Smash Bros.
Yeah, I just want to say we do not have, in case people are wondering, we do not have any sort of release date yet.
Nah, I think we're a ways out on that.
We just have the announce and some talk of the new gameplay.
How long ago did Brawl 1 come out?
It was like a year and a half
Like, it's
ago.
not that long ago. It is
like-
wild to be releasing a second one already, honestly.
Yeah, it was like a year and a half ago, I think at most.
Yeah.
But it tanked. It tanked so bad.
It did.
And I think if
good
the
reason.
game had done well, this would have been something that had come out with steady updates.
Uh-huh.
But because the game was like
They
DOA,
were just like, we just gotta...
they're like, let's just completely shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of trying to do these as fixes to a live service game, which is really tough to do.
Yeah.
It's like
They're big fixes.
updating a live game is like fixing a moving car.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just turn off the car, bring it into the garage,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll fix it. And I think that's what they decided to do.
Well, there's been a lot of talk of, is Smash Bros. Done forever? Was that the last Smash Bros.? There was speculation when the last character released for it that it was like, and this is it for Smash Bros. And I feel like both of us at the time were like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
There's just no way. I believe that it's the last Smash Bros. We're gonna see for the Switch, but there are certain things that Nintendo does when a new console launches that just cause the attach rate of their hardware to go up so much that you can't not do one. Like they learned their lesson with the GameCube. If you start a console, you get yourself a Zelda or a Mario there on day one.
Yep.
And then whichever one wasn't there, you get the next one there within 3 to 6 months.
Yeah, you get that the next holiday.
And then the next one is a Smash Brothers.
right.
You got to do the
Because
Smash
it's like
Bros.
if you release a console in September, you do those as launch titles, you release those ones in December for the holiday.
Absolutely.
Well, Masahiro Sakurai was previously like, I don't know if I want to do, like, this might be it for me. He had said, like, this is the last character. This might be it for Smash Bros. For me. I don't know if I want to do that.
Well, it's one of those things where you do feel, and he said it, and I think the audience feels similarly. It's like, what else do you do?
We've
Like
put
that-
every character in.
Not only is every character in there, but Smash Ultimate was really well made and pretty well balanced, and it had a lot of content. Like, what do you add to Smash Bros?
Waluigi. You add Waluigi. They never added Waluigi. Somebody said, did HelloFresh sponsor today's It's Too Early? I see an ad on the bottom right. Well, the ad, the title that says hashtag sponsored by HelloFresh. Yes. So anyways, now Sakurai is like, okay, maybe. I mean, he was like, I can't imagine a Smash Bros. Title without me, and I do want to keep working with Nintendo on these things. So I don't know what comes after Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. One option would be to separate the series from its original creator, but for now at least, I can't imagine them doing it without me. You might think that's a natural stance for someone in my role, but I say so speaking objectively. I feel the same way President Iwata did when we formed the team for Smash Bros. Brawl.
Yep.
At present, we don't have somebody who can simply take the reins. Smash Bros. Is a massive, important title for Nintendo, so it's fair to assume that there will be another one at some point. But it's going to take work to figure out how exactly to make that happen.
Yeah,
for my part, I'd like to keep working with Nintendo however I'm able.
Yeah, I think that's, Nintendo has a long history of working with outside developers and outside companies to make things within their main franchise. Like famously, some of the best Zelda games were made by Capcom. the best F-Zero game was made by Sega. So they definitely don't. I mean, they bought Camelot, because Camelot made such amazing Nintendo sports titles.
Yeah.
I could see them working with Sakurai's new studio and new company in a consulting thing. It's also one of those things that's just a nice thing that companies tend to do when one of their longtime people goes out on their own. If that person values the relationship and tries to keep it a good relationship.
Yeah, they leave on a good note.
If they leave on a good note, they will often be like, hey, this is a Nintendo game in association with Sakurai's company. And I think that would be a great way to do it. I mean, I'm not even an intense Smash player. I'm a very cash Smash player. And if I heard that there was a Smash without Sakurai, I would immediately trust that Smash Brothers game 50% less.
Yep.
So I think what they're going to want to do is find whoever in Nintendo. It's going to be like an Onuma situation, right? Onuma was director, planner, that sort of thing, while Miyamoto was still main director, producer on Zelda. And you do the slow changeover.
Yeah, they worked on it together.
Yeah,
and,
even though Onuma was basically making 100% of those games.
Yeah.
With Miyamoto checking in.
Right.
But you need something that gives that
trust.
That trust and confidence to the audience.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what they're going to do.
Well, if they're trying to figure out what to do for the next Smash Bros, they could probably be keeping an eye out for what some other games in the industry are doing. Like Call of Duty.
Ooh, so Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg are coming to Call of Duty. COD players, help me understand.
Hey, also just help.
Yeah, COD players, help me understand the operator thing. So is the operator a player skin? What does an operator come with? Because I know they have Shredder. They have a bunch of weird characters that can be operators.
Bro, I have no idea.
But it's just a skin.
I haven't played a Call of Duty since, I want to say, Advanced Warfare? No. I played Black Ops 2. That might have been the last one. I don't remember the order of all of them. I had the ones where they started getting into some of the more technical stuff, but it's been...
It's been
at least 8 years.
Yeah,
I was never Call of Duty.
I was never a COD guy.
I've played a lot of Call of Duty games. Just not in a long time. None of this existed.
Yeah, I'm just not
this existed.
I'm not a military guy. I don't enjoy military simulation.
I'm not either.
I don't think I don't dig it.
Yeah.
I do there's something to...
And we don't play Activision games.
Yeah. There's something to bringing in sillier stuff to Call of Duty that makes it more palatable to me. In a way, I can understand why Fortnite took off and why these other shooters and Overwatch and all these other shooters are taking off. It's not just because we needed more variety in gameplay from Call of Duty, but it's also because some of us just don't want to be crawling through the trenches in the dirt and calling down napalm bombs onto other human beings. But if you make me a smart monkey or a robot hamster,
I'm in.
I will shoot a gun.
I was in, and then Blizzard ruined it.
I will shoot a gun. I will do that.
Bro, I miss. I had one shooter I would play.
I think they can barely hear you. You're cutting in and out for them. But so it's Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, who's in everything. Honestly, if your game exists for more than 5 years and you don't have Snoop Dogg in it, you've fucked up. You've absolutely fucked up.
Snoop Dogg will read your radio ad for nasal spray if you ask him nicely.
When is Snoop Dogg going to be in Destiny? Put Snoop in Destiny.
Snoop Dogg will legitimately do anything. He's in the FaZe clan.
Nicki Minaj is kind of cool.
I think it's a weird fucking crossover.
It's absolutely a weird crossover.
But they did
Homelander 2 weeks ago.
Why?
They did Homelander 2 weeks ago and Godzilla last month.
Godzilla is less weird than putting Nicki Minaj in Call of Duty.
No, Godzilla is very much like a background cool event that happens.
That makes way more sense to me.
Interacts with the stage. But I think the more they push into sillier, the better Call of Duty gets. At least for me.
Yeah.
At least for me.
Absolutely ridiculous. Nicki Minaj for Smash, though, I'm in. I'm super into that.
I honestly, here's the thing. They can do it, but none of them can be first. Only one person can be first.
Yeah.
And that's Ariana Grande. Only Ariana Grande was the first one there. You remember that?
Congrats to Miss Grande.
Yeah.
That's not what she does.
She does that sometimes.
She goes, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You went, yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? There's like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Oh, that's the
what
Emma
you're
Stone.
doing.
I was doing
You're
the Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As opposed to her, yeah.
The guy's got to study.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Ariana Grande. Okay. Hey, everyone. We're going to get into talking a little bit about TV and movie. Now, here's where I will reiterate before this section. Once again, that this is not anti-union or anti-strike. This is not against the strike. This is certainly not scabbing, because that word has actual meaning.
That's right. Remember that the unions, both SAG and the WGA, said, if you're a critic, if you work in criticism, you can continue to cover movies and TV. And remember that this is not a boycott, this is a strike.
Yeah.
The more we continue to talk about the media and continue to talk particularly about the creators behind the media, the more the studios see the value that those creators have.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about a few things. We're still going to keep it. We're not going to talk as much about it as we used to or we usually do. We just want to talk about some things that we think are
We're just going to
interesting.
touch on a couple of things. But hey, continue to support the strike. Continue to support striking workers. Obviously, we are incredibly pro-union here in this house. And our Tiltify is ongoing for the Entertainment Community Fund to support those that are out on the picket lines.
So here's some big news. We are both a Star Wars lover.
Massively.
Sometimes I'm professionally a Star Wars lover.
And sometimes I professionally love Donald Glover.
And so this news is particularly interesting to the two of us. Donald Glover and his brother Steven are taking over writing duties for the Lando series from Justin Simien. This is very interesting. Justin Simien, of course, just directed Haunted Mansion for Disney. Justin Simien also on the press tour for Haunted Mansion had some particularly pointed quotes that I think made a lot of sense about working for Disney and about how much money these people are making compared to the creators and how kind of disheartening it is for the creators to know that they're basically, I mean, he used the word sharecropper.
Wow.
Which is how far he went. He was like, listen, if I'm making you $1 billion and you pay me, even $100,000 for a year or two of my life, what does that mean? What does that mean? Who's winning? And he said, people who want to make art will continue to make art. We will just make it without you if we're not worth it to you. Now, that being said, I don't think these are direct correlations. He also said, I don't think he was kicked off because he said those things. A lot of people are saying these things right now.
No, in fact, what confirms that is that this was put in place before the strikes.
Exactly.
Specifically. So that's a conversation being had during the strikes. This decision was made pre-SAG and WGA strikes, and there has been no work done on it since the activation of those strikes.
Right. So one thing that he said was, nobody's called me. He said that like a month ago because, he's doing press for the Haunted Mansion. And people are like, what's going on with Lando? He's like, honestly, I have no idea. I'm ready. They're ready. I heard they were ready. I don't know what's happening.
I wonder if he's directing.
But nobody called me. And then I believe he said, I think it's just over.
Yeah. I know.
So maybe he waited as long as he could. I'm a bit bummed to see Justin Simien walk, but of course, I have no lack of faith in Donald Glover.
It's Donald Glover. It's Lando himself.
Well, not just that. He's just such a brilliant writer.
He
I
is.
mean, one of the things about Donald Glover is he won an Emmy for writing when he was in like his early 20s. Like he was just out of college when he won for the Emmy for 30 Rock.
Yeah, he's a brilliant artist in every capacity of the word. And I really feel like from not only the portrayal of the character of young Lando, but from his press tours that he did around the time, he has a deep understanding of Lando Calrissian that I really loved about him.
He was one of my favorite interviews to do when we were doing the solo press stuff because he really was like deep into it. Initially Chris Lord and Phil Miller were directing the movie. And when they were directing, of course, they do a lot of improvising.
Yeah.
And I think, Donald Glover came up in improvisation. And so when they hire somebody to do these characters, they know that that person can be that character. And I think Donald Glover understands it in such like a deep way. And I think it'll be fun to see his take in what's going to be mostly entirely his take. Now, it would be interesting to see. I think the only reason he wasn't writer, director, producer, showrunner on this thing to begin with is he just didn't have the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, he wanted to play Lando, but like, think of all the things he's done in the last few years.
Right, depending on when the show landed on being.
Yeah, you know.
Wolf of Herkheimer, I can't say the name for some reason. I'm sorry. Wolf of Herkheimer said, wait, genuinely, is the Lando show out already? No, when we refer to his previous performance as young Lando Calrissian, we're referring to the movie Solo.
Which is a good movie. I like Solo a lot. It's a good movie.
I don't, but I think he was excellent in it. For me, Donald Glover was the only redeeming part of Solo.
He was great. I think that there were a lot of great things about Solo, but I understand that not everybody liked it.
No,
I get it.
I liked other elements of Solo. I think he was the most redeeming part of Solo. I didn't enjoy it, but I am somebody who was I was like, here's the thing. I knew going in that I am a level of emotionally attached to the character of Han Solo that I was going to be the kind of fan that was incredibly hard to please on it.
That's the biggest gamble that they took.
Anybody other than Harrison Ford was simply not going to do it for me. And there are a few things in that movie that I have specific disagreements with beyond just who it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think he did a bad job. He just simply, like, you can't be...
Well, I think Alden did a great job, but also the character of young Han Solo is a very different character than Han Solo.
I know.
One of the things that's interesting, and this is why I completely understand when people say Solo is not for them. One of the things about Han Solo is he shows up fully formed in the films, and that's kind of what's cool about him. He's mysterious, and you find out that what's under the mysteriousness is like a soft nerd. And that's the fun thing about him in the original trilogy. But seeing that build up, I don't know. I don't know that you need it, right? That's the thing is people were like, do we need this? You don't need any movie, and you certainly don't need any prequel, but that's the job of the studio and the filmmakers is to make the movie so compelling that you're okay with it anyway. And I understand that it didn't get there for a lot of people.
That was it. You really, really have to go far. But Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian understood the goddamn assignment, and
Emilia Clarke as Kira.
Incredible.
If Lando's coming back, then Kira come back?
Donald Glover was also the one who canonized Lando being queer.
Yep.
Just literally in an interview was like, are you kidding me? What, do you think he's straight?
No.
Do you think Lando Calrissian said, yeah, human women only, please?
No, the movie heavily intimates that he's in a romantic relationship with a droid.
Yeah, but when asked directly, he was like, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, it's like how we're talking about...
Absolutely, Lando Calrissian is queer.
Captain Kirk isn't straight. Nobody in space is straight.
I say it all the time.
You can't be in space and be straight.
I literally say it all the time to the point where I've got a t-shirt design that I've never released for my own stream. You can't be straight in space.
You can't be straight in space.
You're straight in space.
Because you're going to meet an alien and it's going to be like, that's one of the things that you and I were texting each other about during Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
Which we were on the Kind of Funny Secret Invasion finale thing yesterday. Go watch that. But one of the things that we were talking about to each other is like, isn't it wild that like, Skrulls, these aliens, these shape-shifting aliens that can be anything, are all men or women.
Yeah.
And when they turn into humans, they turn into human men or human women based on which they were as a Skrull.
Yeah.
Except for like if they're gonna Bugs Bunny somebody.
Right.
Right? Like if Ben Mendelsohn is going to turn into a sexy lady to throw off a villain.
Right.
Like you can Bugs Bunny somebody.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was so fascinating because no shapeshifter should be straight.
We should not give any other spoilers for Secret Invasion. It's too new though.
It's too new, but listen, it's not a spoiler to say that like
these Skrulls.
These Skrulls definitely move along traditional gender lines.
Skrulls are weirdly binary. Very strange. This wasn't in the spreadsheet.
Yeah. Oh, I saw this headline.
I just hate shit like this, and I just wanted to... Cillian Murphy says, Oppenheimer's sex scenes with Florence Pugh were vital to the plot. I do want to say I haven't seen this movie. So I'm going to approach with that in mind. But when they even describe it, they're like, well, their relationship was so important. I just think we've gotten to a point with men writing and directing that they're like, well, how will we know they have sex if we don't show them having sex?
Right. Well, and more than that,
And it's a biopic. They had sex.
There's a fundamental broken thing that says, how do we show that there's passion between them without sex?
Try acting good or writing good.
Like, and I think that's so weird, especially when, and I understand this was true in reality as well, but there's such an age gap between the two of them that it's like, it does feel, it's definitely giving male power fantasy.
It always is.
And I don't know, some of the comments. So once again, we were all kind of funny yesterday. In the beginning of the episode, Tim goes, are y'all excited for Oppenheimer? And we were both just like, no, no, can't imagine being excited for Oppenheimer. I'll eventually watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah, the comments are so upset.
The comments are so
upset.
The
comments hated two things. They hated that I'm a Samuel L. Jackson hater, and they were like so genuinely personally offended as if I had insulted their mother. These people are like, how dare you not enjoy the one character Samuel L. Jackson plays? And I said it. I was like, I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he plays one specific character. And if you're into that character, it makes sense that you love Samuel L. Jackson. There are actors that I like that only play one character. And it's just because coincidentally, that one character they like, I'm into.
And
Samuel L. Jackson's not that for me.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
that happens with a lot of movie stars, right? Movie stars become archetypes. We're not saying that Samuel L. Jackson's the only one that's happened to. I happen to like Samuel L. Jackson.
And that's great.
But you can't deny that he plays the same dude. And if you don't like that dude, you probably don't like Samuel L. Jackson's performances.
So like, shut up and get over it.
But the other one that they hated was just us saying,
we're not gonna see Oppenheimer.
I can't be excited for Oppenheimer. I don't understand a biopic about the Manhattan Project being your big summer movie. I don't understand why it needed to be shot on 70 millimeter. It just feels like, you know, Christopher Nolan's at that point in Hollywood where he's a moneymaker and he gets to be self-indulgent. This was his blank check movie. He gets a blank check movie. Every director that gets to a certain level of success gets a blank check movie, and this was his. I'm simply not interested in it. If you ask me, do I want to sit in a movie theater for 3 hours to watch Oppenheimer? The answer is no.
Nope.
I'll watch that at home.
Yeah.
But people got really mad about that.
Yeah. So
they were like, you're shitting on the movie. I'm like, no, I was asked what I think about it and am I excited about it?
And the answer is no.
The answer is
no.
no.
And we're allowed to not be excited for it. It's the boys. It's just
hey,
it was boys.
The boys are in the house and that's fine.
Anyways, with this, there's apparently a very prolonged sex scene, and people were like, do you think it's necessary? And he's like, I think that it's one of the most crucial emotional parts of the film, their relationship, it's key to the story. Listen, no one likes doing them. The most awkward possible part of our job, but sometimes you have to get on with it.
Do you believe he thinks that?
No. I actually don't blame him for this quote out of context because you're put in the position of defending the director's choice.
Yeah, of course.
You're put in the position of defending like Christopher Nolan's
He's
choice.
doing press for the movie.
And you can't respond, no, I think that was bullshit and I don't think it was necessary. I think by him saying like no one likes doing this, I agree. I'm not saying that like
you could say
like no actor does like doing this.
He could say it in a few years.
Yeah.
In a few years he could say, I don't know why we put that in there.
I don't think that was necessary.
But he can't say it right now. And I also think once again, when you're put in these situations, these scenes, though awkward, are fundamentally more awkward for women than they are for men.
Yep.
Because the way ratings work and the way society works, shirtless man, fine. I could be shirtless and I could walk to the corner store. Shirtless woman is, whoa, watch out. But we could show it in a movie, right? And so when you're doing a sex scene and the man is topless and the woman is topless, that's a completely different power dynamic and a completely different thing for the woman than it is for the man.
And it's shot around sexualizing the woman. All sex scenes in media. Like, you know, when I say all, there are always exceptions to that, and especially in queer media, there are exceptions to that, but especially in like mainstream media, there is absolutely, it is shot around the sexual display of a woman.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's always what it is.
Asking for those of us not in the entertainment industry, do actors really have non-disparagement clauses for current projects? Yes, but it's more than that. Sometimes you don't have a non-disparagement,
but you do want to work again.
Yeah, but like if you are working on a project, particularly a big project for a big studio, and you get onto press and you go, I didn't like it. It was bad, or I didn't enjoy doing it, or this was not great, or I didn't like the way it turned out. while you're doing press, that hurts the film.
And your career is fucked.
And the studio goes, hey, why'd you do this work for us and then say this shit?
The studio can sue you.
Yeah. And here's the thing. People think that actors
for
get
causing
paid
damage.
to do promotion. They do not.
Yeah.
When an actor is doing a movie, and this is why, like, it's particularly, this is another thing that's important for SAG, when in the strike right now, when an actor's doing TV or film, it is expected that they do those press days for free. Now, sometimes it's in their contract. It's like, this is the number of press days you have to do. These are the press events you have to do.
Yeah.
But you don't get paid extra for them. So whatever you get paid for making that movie, you know, when we talk about these people who are on TV shows who were working second jobs to pay for the fact that they were on Netflix shows, they had to do the press for those shows for free, which means they had to take a day off work, hire their own stylist usually, their own makeup and hair person usually, and go to this event and pay out of pocket for it. And you have to do that, and you have to make sure that what you're saying is cool, make sure that what you're saying is fun, make sure that what you're saying makes the project seem good.
Yeah, if you
That's
said
part
something,
of your job.
If you said something disparaging on like the press tour, it'd ruin you.
Yeah.
It would ruin your career.
It would absolutely destroy.
One last piece of movie things. Barbie has broken the Warner Brothers box office record, surpassing The Dark Knight and Aquaman.
Hey!
What? What are you doing?
I was just gonna show the visual, but I that's all I did.
What visual?
Hey, that's all. Just the headline.
Just a headline?
Yeah. Just gonna show the headline.
Very exciting. Again, hey, big W for the women.
Yeah.
Big W for the women.
Big W for original ideas in film. I know Barbie is not an original idea, but go see Barbie and you will see what the original ideas were.
Yeah.
That was I do want to say this wasn't in the spreadsheet, but Mattel has everybody takes the wrong lesson from success. We know this about studios. Everybody takes the wrong lessons from success. Mattel is talking about the Mattel cinematic universe right now. They're talking about sequels. They're talking about related films. They're talking about other
They're
properties.
talking about, other properties for the most part is what I've seen.
So what we've got right now is there are 45 films in development at Mattel. 45. 14 have been announced so far.
Wow.
Now, Lily Collins is going to star in and produce a Polly Pocket movie directed by Lena Dunham.
Oh, no! No!
Imagine,
no!
This to me just gives, imagine if the Barbie movie was an insufferable liberal arts upper class
that
white
sounds
feminist.
like you did a bad lib, like Mad Libs about a Polly Pocket movie. Like,
it's the bizarro Barbie movie.
Mattel will be making a film on Polly Pocket, directed by Lena Dunham. Not Lena Dunham.
Lena Dunham.
No.
There's a live action Hot Wheels movie that's going to be produced by J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot production company.
That could be fun.
That could be fun.
I'm not mad at it.
It's fine. Now, Mattel, this one I am kind of interested in. Mattel is doing a Barney movie with Daniel Kaluuya that is supposed to be like, he said it's going to be psychedelic and subversive.
Kind of into it.
I'm kind of into it.
Kind of into it.
It says it will take a new approach to Barney that will surprise audiences and subvert expectations.
And I want to be clear, like Mattel knew that this Barbie movie was going to pop off, that this didn't come into effect this week. There's no way they were like, yeah, we've got 45 ideas this week.
No, the Barbie script was known before it landed with WB. The Barbie script was known as, because it was with Sony for a while, if you remember, and it was going to be an Amy Schumer thing.
God, thank God it did end up being an Amy Schumer thing.
Yeah, but the new script, the Greta Gerwig script, was considered like everybody wanted it. It was one of those scripts where there was like a bidding war. Who is going to have this?
So good.
Because it was so good. It was one of those things where everybody read it and was like, I'm on board.
Yeah.
So Mattel definitely knew this was coming.
Kiki Peach said, we don't need more cinematic universes, though. I do agree. I don't know if this is going to attempt to be like a connected cinematic universe or they just mean like, hey, we're going to start making stuff on all our IP.
Yeah, I think that's more what it is. We've got there was an old astronaut Mattel figure called Major Matt Mason, which I guess was big in the 60s. And if anything was big in the 60s, you know Tom Hanks is already attached to it.
Tom Hanks loves shit that was big in the 60s.
Tom Hanks loves that shit. Other Mattel properties that are coming up, American Girl, which has already
made
had
a million movies about, but they were like, small, like straight to DVD movies.
Yeah,
so.
a lot of them, I want to say that they used to be like Family Channel movies and stuff like that, right? Like
they were straight to DVD
like
always.
they were on cable at some point.
They might have aired them later, but they were never made for cable.
Okay.
Because they were made to be released with the dolls.
Gotcha.
That you could buy the copy of the DVD, the book, the doll.
But then here are the other ones. Masters of the Universe, that makes sense. We already knew about that.
I want that.
Right now, that's dying over at Netflix, so
I'm
we'll see
really
what happens.
into that.
If Netflix does not, I mean, I know that Netflix kind of shit can that movie. They're gonna feel so stupid now that Barbie happened.
Hell yeah.
But then the other ones are very weird. Viewmaster.
Oh, that thing? The like
Yeah.
the little red like
where you see 3D. Yeah. Viewmaster. Magic 8 Ball.
Horror movie.
If Magic 8 Ball is not a horror movie.
Be dope if it was a horror movie.
If it's not a horror movie.
I want a Ouija Origins of Evil style 8-ball movie.
Absolutely. And then Uno.
Jumanji?
They get sucked into numbers? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Feels
just
weird.
goofing.
But,
a lot of these things will never happen.
They'll never happen.
They'll never happen. Something being in development does not mean that it's going to be a movie that you can and will see.
Some of these are like, people ran to Mattel and they're like, what do you got left?
Yeah.
And Mattel's like, you can have Uno for
I guess you can have Uno. If you can do something with that.
Really? You don't have, what are you doing with Hot Wheels? No. J.J. Abrams has Hot Wheels. Why? Do we not remember that there was a Battleship movie made by Milton Bradley? Liam Neeson and Rihanna were in the Battleship movie.
Yeah, that's wild.
Why are we doing this? They're taking the wrong lessons from this, as they always do.
Yeah.
The wrong lesson here is people want a movie based on their favorite toys. No, what people wanted was a movie with a point of view, a style, something to say that was still fun and accessible to an audience.
Yeah.
Why is that hard to understand? It's like how they think everybody wants a multiverse. Do you know? I did not know this because I did not see the most recent Transformers movie.
I knew.
Did you know that the most recent Transformers movie introduces G.I. Joe into the movie?
No.
So the Transformers and G.I. Joe franchises are now linked.
All right. I don't particularly care about either anymore. I say as someone who was like a big Transformers animated kid.
Yeah.
I don't particularly care about either live action IP, so I'm like, meh.
Well, I think most people feel that way, which is how we did not feel that.
Yeah.
I did not know that, and nobody was talking about it. I guess it's been in there for a couple. I did not know.
Grumpy Steen said, "What about Betsy Wetsy?" And that we should bid on it from Mattel to do a movie.
Yeah, just about a baby that's just constantly wetting itself.
Who's got Betty Spaghetti is what I want to know.
But I do want to say, in terms of this Transformers G.I. Joe thing, it was talked about in this Variety interview with Brian Robbins, which is making the rounds today because, so Brian Robbins, if you don't know, is the head of Paramount Pictures. He's been the head of Paramount for a few years now. He started off as an actor in sitcoms and has sort of like worked his way up. But one of the things that is making the rounds about this interview right now was what he said about particularly animation. And what he said is they are not going to do original animation for film anymore. They only want to explore the IP that they own. So what he said was basically he overhauled Paramount's animation division. He jettisoned projects that he didn't think were commercial. There was this movie called Under the Boardwalk about like hermit crabs on the Jersey Shore. And it was supposed to be in the theaters, but he pushed it to Paramount Plus. And he said, we are not going to release an expensive original animated movie and just pray people will come. Instead, they're going to mine the Nickelodeon IP heavily, like SpongeBob and Avatar. He says,
do they still have access to Avatar? I mean, under Paramount they do, but Avatar's its own studio now. I don't know.
they still have it. Yeah. It's still, they have to do everything with Nickelodeon. But he said, like, look, we're going to mine that IP. We don't want to put out an expensive animated movie and maybe nobody comes. And what's weird about this,
all of that IP was once original.
yes, that's the biggest thing here is in order for IP to be pre-existing, it must be created. You cannot time travel and there's IP done. You know what I mean? And the other thing is, why is it not okay in animation, but it's okay everywhere else, right? If you're making huge $200, $300 million budget live action films in drama, in action, in comedy, in whatever, and that's fine, why is it not okay in animation? Why can't animation be original?
We have to stop letting white men put on suits and say absolutely unhinged shit. We have to stop letting that happen. We have to start telling men that their ideas are bad. You have to start telling men in your life when their ideas are bad. I know that we've all been like not doing it as a society for hundreds of years at this point, thousands of years at this point. But look what happens when you don't raise little boys to know that they have bad ideas.
One of the things that he says in the beginning of this interview that I absolutely hate is when he was first shown the designs for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, he said they looked scrawny and malnourished, barely strong enough to wield nunchucks or hurl a throwing star. He said they looked like they were on Ozempic. He hated the designs.
Bro,
which just goes to show you,
teenagers.
Studio heads don't know anything. They don't know anything. They're not brilliant. They don't have, I'm sure some of them are very creative in ways, but like,
studio heads?
But not in ways that
not
are
major studio heads. I don't think one of them. Not one of them.
Not in a way, and certainly not in a way where like they know better than their insanely creative teams. You know, not in a way where like when Seth Rogen comes up to you and goes, "This is what the Ninja Turtles are going to look like because they're teenagers." You don't go, "Why aren't they buff? They should be huge. Why aren't they ripped?"
We have to stop letting men.
Can there be a sex scene? No, there can't be a sex scene. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Can you imagine the reaction that would happen if any woman or person of color said what that man just said? How absolutely fucking wrecked and destroyed they would get for how dumb that sounds.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
DM Bitty Kitty said, my homosexual audacity tells me I could run Paramount better. Hey, Dagger could run Paramount better.
Well, Dagger's the best producer there ever was. Dagger could move to an executive position, but here's the thing. Nobody who could move into an executive position who'd be really good at it wants it. Nobody wants it.
My banker at Wells Fargo could run Paramount Plus better.
Sure, because they know to just look at the numbers and let the creative people do what they want. Truly. Yeah, nobody who loves the art like Dagger could be in charge.
Dagger does love the art. Do you want to save the rest of this stuff for the Patreon today?
Sure, let's do it. Because we got to talk about...
We started late, so we've still got a little bit of time. We got to talk about aliens.
We have to talk about aliens. Did you know that aliens are real?
Well...
Did you know that aliens is real? For really real?
At least that's currently what the United States government is trying to let us know. Now, again, I said this on my stream, but I'm going to sound like I've got a little bit of a tinfoil hat on here when I tell you over and over again how much I do not trust the United States government.
One of my favorite, like, I guess it was a Vine at first, or maybe it was a TikTok, was where guys like, aliens are real, and it's the White House press executive to the press corps. And the guy in the press corps is like, did you invade Iran? And the guy goes, you got me. I thought you'd believe it. I thought you'd believe there were aliens.
I feel like every time, and this happens like once a year, and now I'm an alien girly. There's my little alien tattoo.
Listen, what's up? Aliens is real, and we are into it.
If there is an alien documentary, I've seen it. I've been there. I'm with it. I think about fire in the sky once a day.
If aliens have one conspiracy theorist, I am one of them.
If aliens have no conspiracy theorists, I am dead.
That's the way we feel about it. But here's the thing. What was it, a year ago, 2 years ago, where they were like, look at all these declassified documents they just released.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You know what they were probably doing in that scenario? They were probably doing so to make sure that the other declassified documents that were coming out about some atrocity that they committed, I don't know, in the Middle East, however many years ago, was ignored because you were looking at aliens.
And the drop off of the economy, the removal of protections during the pandemic. There's always a hey, look over here. Hey, look over here.
Yeah, last time there was also like an alien story coming around while they were trying to get us to look away from what Russia was doing.
Yeah. So this time around, Congress got the testimony of David Grush, who is an intelligence officer with the U.S. Air Force and the Geospatial Intelligence Agency for 14 years. And he basically gave a News Nation interview, and he said, bless you, he said, we've got biologics. We've got non-human biologics. Doesn't say aliens because he believes this is multidimensional. Some of his testimony was wonderful. He's like, okay, if you're a 3-dimensional being, you cast a shadow on a 2-dimensional plane, correct? These multidimensional beings cast shadows that we can see onto the 3rd dimension. And I was like, yo, are you ancient aliensing right now?
Anthony.
Are you Michio Kakuing right now?
Anthony.
What?
It's that lady from TikTok reaching in to flip your hat around.
That's what I'm saying.
She's coming in and she's taking the thing out of the box that you sealed in a box.
Now, on it, if it's 2D, I can't turn around, so
But
she
because
sneaks
I'm a
up
3D
behind
being,
me.
I'm taking your hat and I'm flipping it around, and you can't flip it back because you're
You'll never
two-dimensional.
flip it back around, you dummy.
That video did make me cry a little bit, if I'm honest, because I was feeling really bad for the two-dimensional being in this scenario.
Now, they say that there are non-human biologics, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program that I talked to that are currently still on the program. So here's the big deal. David Grush ain't never seen an alien, has not seen one of these APUs, which is what we call UFOs now. I don't know why.
I thought it was...
Or UAPs, thank you.
Yeah, UAPs.
UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena is what we call it now. UFO is for crackpots. UAPs is what the cools are saying.
Okay.
He said he's never seen them, but he has testimony of them. He says that they don't show up on infrared. You got to really see them when they're there. All this stuff. But we do have... Maybe we have some of these pieces of this craft. We have some of these aliens. We have samples of them. We're holding on to the technology. We've got this shit. We've got this shit, Saige.
Now, mind you, the person who is testifying in front of Congress has a long history of making wildly absurd claims that have been debunked time and time again.
Have they been debunked, Saige, or are they just trying to silence him and
that's
make us think
the thing
that he's been debunked?
That's
they're
the thing.
planting
That's what they're
fake
doing.
evidence. They're planting counterintelligence, Saige.
They're planting counterintelligence, but it's to hide the fact that we're bombing another nation
Saige.
daily.
Of course we're bombing another nation daily, Saige, but they're also putting counterintelligence there to make David Grush look like he's lying. They want him to seem like a crackpot, Saige, because they don't want us to know that they've got alien technology, and that's why we still can't cure a cold or move to clean energy or any of this stuff. We've got alien technology.
Yeah.
One of the things David Grush said is there's like absolutely no way we could use this technology. It's just too far beyond us.
Oh, okay.
But they know we got it. They're trying to figure it out. Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's real, baby. The aliens. I don't know. What's your take?
Okay, I want aliens to be here more than anything.
Yes.
As a child with just likely autism, as somebody who felt deeply disconnected from trying to interact with other humans and was referred to as the black sheep of my family by my own mother, I was fully convinced when I was a child that I was an alien. I got left here by accident, and they were one day going to come back and get me, and then everything would make sense. So trust me, if anyone wants aliens to be real, it's gonna be me. And aliens are real. I don't think that we are so special that we are the only phenomenon in the universe that has ever happened. We can't be the peak.
I feel the same way. Do I feel like we have seen aliens? No. Do I feel like aliens have reached out to us? No. Do I feel like aliens have the capability to do so? Unknown, but probably not.
So Yes, that's where I stand on it. Is absolutely there are other beings, 100%. Absolutely there are things that we cannot fathom or understand. Absolutely they're going to be astronomically different from us. We're not going to pretend that they're like humanoid us. We're not going to pretend that it's the same as us for some reason.
No, it's
but
like Skrulls.
they're not here.
It's like Skrulls. They're basically like us.
Yeah.
And there are boys and girls. And that's what there are.
That's it. It's me, boys and girls.
Now, a little more about David Grush. David Grush would have you believe that there's been a multi-decade program hiding this information from us, Saige. He would have you believe that he was asked by the head of a government task force on UAPs to identify all highly classified programs relating to the task force mission. He was detailed to the National Reconnaissance Office. That's the office that runs all the spy satellites. And he was basically just given carte blanche to find out which of these secret programs and which of these people got the aliens.
So here's what I'll say. I think there are two unrelated things happening here. I think you've got this guy who is a long-term conspiracy theorist that for some reason has been allowed to continue just making loud theories. Mm-hmm. And then you have the United States government going, put him up. Yeah, put him up there.
Put him up there.
Go. No, listen to him.
Put him up there.
That's great. And like, hey, I don't know. Is it so you don't pay attention to the fact that we've been bombing Laos for years? Is it that? Is it about that? What is it? It's the idea of everybody now got to keep real close eyes on moves made by the United States government. And they could be atrocities towards us. They could be atrocities towards other countries. It could be about any of the many atrocities we're already facing that they're just like, hey, we're tired of you paying attention to it. Shut up and look at aliens.
Well, that's the thing is Congress called David Grush before them. And when I think about Congress right now, I think about what's come out about Congress recently. And I think about recently there's been a lot of uncovering of stock purchases by members of Congress into defense contractors.
Very true.
Remember that every defense or every stock purchase is public. You can see it. It's a matter of record. And you can find that a lot of Congress people, a lot of representatives and Congress people have been investing in brand new military contractors whose value has not been going up as highly as, say, like a Northrop Grumman or something like that. And they are about to come up with the new budget for next year.
Yeah.
And so, and not only that, but you've got within the right now, which is, the party in power, you have a lot of their stuff is crumbling. A lot of their most public members within our government representatives are having very public meltdowns and having a lot of things thrown at them. Ron DeSantis's election is falling apart. His campaign is falling apart. You got Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's being now denounced by everybody, including the committees that she's on. Things are falling.
McConnell glitched.
Mitch McConnell literally
straight
glitched
up
out.
Glitched. Oh, come on. Thoughts and prayers for Mitch McConnell.
And this is
thoughts and prayers for Mitch McConnell to simply decease.
And this was after his remember his weird alien hand?
Yeah,
that he
we
just
all remember Mitch McConnell
that he just
simply
refused to acknowledge.
Yeah. The infectious purple color that was spreading across Mitch McConnell, we all remember.
So there's a lot going on where the structure of power is kind of imploding right now very publicly. And so it's very cool right now to be like, when there's a lot of other stuff that we want them to be taken care of, they're like, we have got to have a full-on committee hearing for 2.5 hours. We got to waste a work day on this guy talking about aliens.
One of the other things that they're trying to cover up, which is the case with a lot of government positions, but was found to be in Congress as well, is obviously we know there is a lot of financial lobbying within our government.
What?
But one of the ways that is done in a way that is seen as like legal and acceptable and easier to hide is these massive corporations being like, hey, you want to do things in our best interest, right? Because you're not going to be a congressperson forever.
Right.
Don't you want a really cushy title here at this company at an executive level
course.
where you just get to make money forever and never have to come into work after you're done with serving in Congress?
You leave and you become a lobbyist.
Yep.
And you become the head of one of those lobbying firms that has been giving you this money all these years.
Correct.
So, that's what a lot of these people are in it for. And it's gross and disgusting. And they would rather us be talking about aliens. Do I think the government has aliens? Gosh, I wish the government had alien stuff.
I don't wish the government did.
No.
I want to have them.
I want the aliens to come and be like, hey, what up, dude? It's us, the aliens.
Yeah.
I don't want there to be a government cover-up about it. But if the government had some alien stuff and it came out that they had alien stuff and it was real, I think that would be very cool.
I'd rather them have alien stuff than just keep hiding the fact that they're bombing Laos.
Yeah, like if they had cool lasers or like a machine that cleaned the air, that'd be cool.
There are a million things, and there's like the twofold possibility. There is the direct conspiracy of they're doing this on purpose. There is actually nothing. They are intentionally hiding this. What I think is most likely is that they don't even have to get this guy to lie because there are so many things that happen all the time. There's so many misunderstandings of, hey, we think that that's something and it's a weather balloon. There are high-level CIA operations that the rest of any part of the military is simply not privy to because they don't have the clearance. So they're seeing devices that are being tested by the CIA to usually do some kind of atrocity in another country. And they can't get the clearance to find out what it is, layer and layer and layer and layer up because the CIA is a completely secret branch of our government that doesn't even have to say where their money comes from.
So when you interview somebody like this, it could sometimes, for a responsible member of government, it could be something like, okay, you're going to give us what you think this is, and hopefully we can comb through this and be like, okay, so you're telling me that there's an office that's spending this much money. And you're saying it's aliens, and I don't care about that. What I care about is there's an office that's spending this much money. I should go find out what that office is.
Correct.
I should call somebody and figure out where this money is going. Because remember, the military and the military industrial complex doesn't need to balance their books.
Nope.
They never do.
Nope.
Billions and billions of dollars go missing.
No, the CIA money is always said it is allocated to something else and is secretly allocated to the CIA.
So it's all very interesting, but yeah, it's also all very bummer. It's also all very bummer. And one of the things that I noticed is the overarching reaction this time, as opposed to like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, when little things like this would come out, people would lose their shit. It would be all over everywhere. Instead, what we have in terms of reaction is everybody being like, ugh, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Well, it's because we have a more informed body of people than ever before, especially on the internet.
Show this headline. This is great.
It's the Washington Post headline. Wrong buttons today. Are aliens real? Many Americans respond,
Because we're all like, no.
No.
If aliens were real, that guy would not be testifying. He'd be disappeared.
Yeah.
He'd just be disappeared. And this is the one that I was thinking of. Hey, are you not shocked? Man, I got a lot going on lately.
It's kind of where we're all at.
That's the other thing is we're all stretched so thin that the government's like, oh, we'll give them some aliens. Whenever we give them aliens, they get pretty excited. And this time they gave us aliens and we're like, get the fuck out of here.
You knock that off.
Get the fuck out of here. Give me a living wage. Get out of here.
Give me healthcare.
I don't care about aliens. Do those aliens bring any medicine? Because mine costs too much money. Nom, 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 nom. I'm going to eat that alien medicine. What does that alien medicine do? I don't know. Nom, 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 but I can't afford any other medicine.
It's like how sometimes when you get sick and the internet tells you that you can take fish antibiotics.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Hey, take that horse pill for the COVID.
Woof.
Woof.
No, I'll say those are two different things. Horse pill was like rich people being like, I will simply not listen to medicine.
Oh, I will invest in horse pill is what a lot of them are doing.
Whereas it's poor people being like, fish antibiotics are basically human antibiotics and they're a lot cheaper online. Don't do it. It's not good for you, but it is a thing that a lot of poor people have been driven to do.
I did have a friend.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, it's real. I had a friend. I did have a friend that used to go to a veterinarian that was a friend of theirs.
Yep.
And get Xanax for their nervous dog.
Yeah.
Because they did not have insurance.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper to get dog Xanax.
And it's just Xanax.
And it's just
small
Xanax.
doses of Xanax.
And I was just like, this is awful. This is absolutely awful.
That's the American healthcare system, baby.
One time, do you remember how like John Wick got to go to a veterinarian to get bullet holes fixed?
Yeah, they did that in Prison Break too.
Yeah, they do that in Prison Break. You go to a veterinarian and get your body stitched up.
Yeah.
Was that John Wick? It was literally every movie.
It happens all the time.
Literally every movie about a tough guy who's got to shoot things.
I consistently reference the show that no one else has seen.
Prison Break was huge. I just feel like it's. I mean,
Maybe
it's
it
not
just
huge
didn't
with
stick
me.
with anybody.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta introduce. I have
a friend?
Friend of the. It's real. It's true. I've said it twice now, and that's how you know. We have a friend of the show who's very, very, very into Prison Break. Yeah, extremely into
me?
Prison Break. Yeah. You're my best friend.
Oh, you're my best friend.
Sorry, I haven't seen Prison Break or SpongeBob.
That's okay, best friend. We can watch them tonight.
We'll watch them together
Both
as
of
a
them.
family. We can't tonight, Saige,
Why is that, Anthony?
because we have the campaign finale for Failed Save.
Woo! I'm
This
just
is
gonna
gonna
put
be-
this back up when we talk about it.
This is huge, baby.
It is. It is 6 seasons all leading up to this moment. It has been 3 years.
3 years.
Wow. Isn't that wild? Technically, our PixelCircus 3-year anniversary is on August 3rd, so we are right at the 3-year mark.
Ooh, that's the day after Mutant Mayhem comes out.
It is also while some of us are going to be away at Gen Con, so we will be celebrating when we get back, though. We are making plans. But tonight is Failed Save at 6 p.m. Pacific. If you've never caught Failed Save, I don't know, you can just catch the finale. That'd be a fun way to start. It'll probably be weird.
Yeah.
Probably have no idea what's going on, but that's okay. It's just an absurdist comedy, almost D&D show.
That's right. There's some D&D in there, but it's mostly very fun and funny people who love each other being fun and funny together.
There are lots of things that are deeply concerning that Vince has sent to me in preparation for this episode. So tune in because,
Real tight runtime on this one too, probably, right?
probably right.
Probably like
3
real
hours.
right.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a long episode,
Probably
everybody.
just going to end right on time this one.
Watch Failed Save in reverse. Start there. Go backwards.
That's right.
Yeah, it's going to be genuinely concerning based on the information I've received in preparation from Vince. So do tune in for that. But Anthony, where else can they tune in and see ya?
Oh, my stars and garters, Saige. Thank you for asking. You can find me everywhere on the internet at A Carboni, except for here on Twitch where I'm at Anthony Carboni. And my science comedy podcast, We Have Concerns, is available at wehaveconcerns.com.
And you can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Sage. I stream on my channel Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And hey, thank you.
Hey,
Very
thank
cool
you.
of you for being here. We do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. You can also catch the VODs on YouTube later if you missed the show live. And hey, you heard of Money?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
We're an independent network, so doing things like donating during the show allows your hosts to do things like eat and pay our bills because we do this for fun. But we do it 3 days a week.
Yeah.
You know.
For fun during business hours.
Right. For fun during business hours. But you know, we don't do it for money.
We don't do it for
There's
the money.
not enough money to say we do it for money. But that's very cool of you, and doing things even like checking out our sponsors as well to let people know that it is worthwhile to keep sponsoring our shows so that we can rely less on community support is also very awesome of you. So you can go to HelloFresh.com for 50% off and free shipping to get yourself a nice little meal and take care of yourself. Get yourself a box. You can choose how many people are in your family for it. You can choose how many meals that you want per week. You can choose how much time you want to spend on it and what kind of ingredients you want.
You could leave somebody in your family out. HelloFresh doesn't check. That's between you and your family.
That's completely up to you if you want to provide for them in that way.
Listen, you do you, and we don't want to get into your family nonsense. We're just saying you can choose the number of people in your family on the thing. We also want to, in addition to thanking HelloFresh, which is very nice of them for coming back, we do want to thank everybody who tweets about the show, everybody who participates in the Discord, everybody who just hangs out together because it's y'all are making a real fun little community.
Hey, Flatlander, thank you so much for tweeting about the show this morning.
Yeah, it's
Very
very
cool
nice
of
of you.
We're going to go through and we're going to say thank you to all of your subs, to all of your bits and donations, because that's also very dope. That helps us run a network and a studio. That also includes the Patreon, which you will get a bonus clip on the Patreon today. If you're feeling like you want more It's Too Early, there is so much more It's Too Early over on our Patreon.
That's right.
And Anthony,
Is that just patreon.com/PixelCircus?
it is patreon.com/PixelCircus, Anthony.
So go check that out.